This Valentine's Day, celebrate the one you love the most with Hallmark cards at Walgreens. Valentine's Day is the best time to send your favorite person a reminder of just how much they mean to you. A Hallmark card is a super simple and beautiful way to say how grateful you are for the love you two share. Don't forget, Valentine's Day is Saturday, February 14th. Visit Walgreens today to find a Hallmark card that shows just how much you love them. Because love lives here.
Every team, every topic, everywhere. This is Believe.
Welcome back for another Short Shifts episode. I am Topher Scott, and I am here with my co-partner, Jeffrey J. Hulavecchio. Vex, 10 minutes are on the clock. You don't know what the topic is yet, but you're going to find out in ready?
What are we doing?
2, 1. Divvying up ice time and managing your bench.
Ooh.
Divvying up ice time, managing the bench for all coaches out there. Now, we can have two different conversations because it's going to be different for the younger kids than it is for the older kids. But let's start with the younger kids. And I had somebody reach out to me, had a great question. When you're putting together lines, do you put all of your most talented players together? Do you do 2 talented players and then maybe 1 hard worker? Like, how do you in youth hockey put together your lineup? Go.
Boom. Can we define youth hockey down a little more? Like,
let's go Bantams and below.
Bantams and below.
Bantams
AAA,
and below.
or are we not talking AAA?
It doesn't matter. It's
I
Bantams and below.
do think AAA matters a little bit more because those people are probably paying way more money.
Won a national championship by rolling the lines. Thank you very much.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and I think, you know, Bantams below, I think you split the talent up for most games, but also if it's Bantams and below, like, I think they should all be playing every position. I really think that at times forwards should play D and D should play forwards. Everyone below Bantams, Pee-wee Bantams, maybe Pee-wee and below. So in this case, and I would want everybody playing all the different positions. I just think it's so good for perspective and ways of seeing the ice and things like that. And then after that, lower levels, I think have them play with who they like playing with. Mix it up every so often because the goal is development and fun when they're younger. And at the younger ages, obviously you want to win and you want to try to win as hard as you can every single day. But the main objectives and goals are development and fun and wanting them to come back to the rink and things like that. So for me, I would rather see at those lower levels split the talent up. But at the higher levels, I absolutely hate that. I do not like that.
You do not like green eggs and ham. You do not like ham.
I do not like that. One of the years, my first year playing pro, and I love the guy, but my first year playing pro, my one winger was an Italian kid who had like 3 professional points up to that year. And instead of the coach putting, you know, all the best players on one line, he tried to like split us all up. And it was terrible. So I never liked that one at the higher levels, obviously. But yeah, younger levels, I think split it up. And I also think, like I said, have them play different positions. Like I really, really believe in that.
So define that, because I actually had somebody reach out to me about a month ago, a buddy of mine that I played junior hockey with back in the day. And he's got kids who are peewees and he's all about kids playing different positions.
Yeah.
But what he was struggling with was like, when do you change? Is it every period? Is it every game? Is it after a week? Is it after a month?
I'd go a couple weekends personally because I think that developing chemistry, obviously there's natural chemistry. Like you and I had never even like really played together, and then we played in a tournament and like midgets or juniors, and it was like I was like, oh my god, Toph like knows everywhere I am on the ice. That's also because you're really good and I'm not good looking. You're great. If anybody knows what that's from, but don't say it. If anybody knows what that little piece is from, we can be friends.
Great movie.
But I do think that you should be teaching players how to create chemistry. And so I think you need to give that maybe it's 3 weekends or something, because then you're going to have multiple practices plus multiple games. And at the lower levels, well, players used to not play as many games. Maybe maybe they are now. So maybe like 10 games, 8 games, and then I would say switch the lines up, and I would coach them and teach them like how, when you're playing with new line mates, like what do you do? How do you go about that? Because when you get up to juniors, you're probably going to be bouncing around lines your first year. It's something that happens, or midgets, or whatever that hard level is that's next for the players. So I love that. I don't know. I think like maybe 8 games, 10 games, and then teach them, okay, like this is what you do when you get put down, or you get changed lines. Like talk to your line mates. Okay, like where do you like to play? Are you more of a shooter or more of a passer? On breakouts, where do you like to be? It's just good to kind of like learn how to have those conversations, I think, and how to like, teach them when they're young. What are your thoughts?
Yeah,
It's a good question.
Yeah. So first of all, like I'm a big believer in like rolling lines from Bantams and below. Everybody plays power play. Everybody plays penalty
Yeah,
kill. Like
same. Same.
When you get to midgets, it's a little bit different. I think at the midget level, or if you're playing like high school hockey, because high school hockey, you want to win for your high school, right? And so it's a little bit different. But yeah, I think rolling lines again, like at Bantam Major, our team rolled lines. We had a different line started every game, a different D pair started every game, and we won the national championship. So, like, relax, people.
So, what's up?
And on the other question about like, I'm a big believer, obviously, in playing different positions. And when my buddy posed me that question, like, I thought it was a really good question. I never thought about that before. And so I've had some time to kind of really think about it. And I feel like the beginning of the season, yeah, like 4 weeks, maybe 3-4 weeks, let them get a rhythm, things like that. And then
feel the rhythm,
feel the rhyme, get on up. It's Bobsled time. Cool runnings. Anyways, yeah, giving it like 3-4 weeks so they get a little bit of a rhythm with it. Now they don't have to play with the same people those 3-4 weeks, but they can be playing D or playing some sort of forward position, but you can roll lines around, roll D partners around and stuff like that. I think maybe even too, like doing that for the first half of the season, maybe into, or maybe even past that to like January or February. And then when you get into like, like the playoffs and stuff like that, and like, making some lines and
Right.
having a little bit more structure to it and stuff. And as a coach, you can just get creative with it. Like, I don't think there's a right answer to that question either. I think you know your players better than anybody and know what can help them to succeed or potentially fail. And so trying things out, seeing what sticks, but like certainly don't have everybody play the same position for the entire year, and certainly don't have the same people playing with the same people all year at that age. And I like, when it comes to like the other question, and this is a tough one for a lot of youth coaches, is like, the talent gap. Like the talent gap and who should play with who. Because again, I don't think there's a right answer to that question either. Because if there's a huge talent gap on a line, the one person out of the 3 forwards might never touch the puck.
Yeah. And then
it holds the other 2 players back, or it holds the 5 people on the ice back, right? So I like playing the more talented with the more talented at the younger ages, just because I think, from a success versus failure standpoint too, like you don't want your lesser kids never touching the puck or feeling like they can't keep up. And if you put them with the kids that are more, like them from a talent standpoint, I think it's a win for everybody.
I've also seen that where, maybe you got 2 better players on a line and they throw a kid on there who doesn't belong on there. Like not even, like the talent gap is way too big.
Right.
And they wind up like starting to like chirp that guy,
Yeah.
and I've seen that quite a bit. In like spring leagues and stuff like that a lot, where there's, double A player playing with triple A players who might not be as good. And you can see them kind of like starting to be, oh my God, this guy can't give me the puck, and stuff like that. And so like that is something to consider too, if there is a big talent gap. I love that point too. I never thought about that.
And that's what a lot of youth coaches, that's an issue that they have to deal with. If
Right.
everybody's relatively the same,
A lot easier.
It's not as big, but like
Yeah.
if you get to tier 2 and now, or even on some tier 1 teams where there's a huge talent gap, then it's kind of interesting to have to navigate that. But yeah, we're obviously, if you've listened to our podcast, we're big believers in putting kids in different situations that are going to challenge them, play with different players, play different positions, honestly, roll lines, like let everybody play power play, let everybody play penalty kill. Like, are you going to lose a game every now and again? If you do that, sure, but maybe one or two, maybe 3 games.
But you might win more down the road when you find out who's nasty
when it
on the
counts.
peeps.
When it counts, right? All right, we got 5 seconds. This was like for younger age. Maybe we should do another one for like older ages.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, we'll do one for like college, pro, junior type stuff. All right, time's up. Share the show.
If you like the show, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe. It really does help the show to grow. Thank you for listening.